time for the Global Responsible Tourism Awards. I have been a judge for the awards about 10 times over the last 20 years, and I used to describe it as going to university because you learn so much as a judge and also from all the winners that come through. So I'm going to talk through each of the finalists, then I'll announce the winner, and as soon as I call a winner's name, please come up to the front for a photograph, and while you're having the photograph, a video will play so that everybody can see the work that you've been doing, but just to keep the audience entertained while we see why you've won. You've already heard from Harold about what the judges are looking for these awards, and I can tell you that every finalist in this room is already a winner. They have already won a gold accolade in regional awards held with LATA in Latin America, in Africa with World Travel Market Africa, in India with the ICRT India Foundation, and in Southeast Asia with our network. And we also have today with us finalists from the Rest of the World Awards to complete the mix. Each of the regional award winners then qualify automatically to compete on the world stage for a global award in one of 6 categories. And the first category today is employing and upskilling local communities. The judges were looking here for tourism organisations that are making a conscious effort to recruit, train and promote local people, to provide long-term stable employment and opportunities for local communities. Kerala Responsible Tourism Mission has 15 years' experience of delivering responsible tourism, and the Bayport project's objective is to provide quality services and unique travel experiences to tourists, simultaneously develop the local economy, improve the quality of the life of local people, create direct and indirect employment opportunities for the local community through tourism, and enhance the capacity of local residents. Quite a good list, I would say. Our second finalist is Groot Bos Lodge and Foundation, which has provided fully funded training to 92 horticultural graduates since 2003, 115 hospitality graduates since 2014, entrepreneurship training for 849, seed funding and mentorship to 189 independent businesses, and trained 20 female biodiversity students. The community of Sakabumi promote themselves as a Hanley tourism village with activities for visitors to celebrate the local staple food, including cooking and crafts. The villagers harvest, process and create special dishes and have improved the welfare of the economy. Wilderness Explorers is a nature and adventure travel specialist which promises to promote ecologically sensitive tourism through a responsible and concerned attitude towards the environment. It provides maximum benefit to the local communities by operating in an honest, thoughtful and concerned manner towards their customs, and they involve the communities so they afford them the greatest financial benefit possible. Latonli is a training guest house and restaurant in remote northeast Cambodia. This offers apprenticeships to vulnerable youths and is a social enterprise project of the not-for-profit Cambodia Rural Development Team. Its mission is to help solve the human development program of Cambodia and to lift the poverty rate. And finally, Latin Trails Ecuador. Ilia Experience Hotel works with the Nests project run by Latin Trails, and there are 40 different families from San Marcos providing them with additional livelihood opportunities through this program. Young culinary talent from rural communities get full board and a full scholarship with a hotel chef learning how to manage a luxury restaurant. So those are our finalists. And the winner of the Employing and Upskilling Local Communities Global Responsible Tourism Award is Groot Bos Lodge and Foundation South Africa. Would Holly Tuppen from The Long Run, please come to the stage and we will play a video.
The foundation really originated around 2003 when we started the Green Futures Horticulture and Life Skills College. The objective of the foundation was to run the non-profit projects of Groot Bos Nature Reserve. So the foundation is grown into a multifaceted organization that runs a number of different programs, focused really on the communities and the natural areas around Grootbos Nature Reserve.
The Grootbos Foundation has 3 focus areas: conservation-related programs, sport development-related programs, and the third is enterprise development, so supporting small businesses and entrepreneurs. Many of our programs are run in collaboration with the Grootbos Private Nature Reserve. Our projects derive income by producing goods and services for the lodges.
We also have been involved in a tree planting project. The students grow these trees, and then guests who come to Grootbos have the opportunity to plant the trees as part of a forest rehabilitation program. So Green Futures is really an investment in the human spirit. What we have to try and do, and what we do through Green Futures, is to open people's eyes to the beauty, to the diversity, to the uniqueness of this amazing landscape.
Well done. Our second award today is for making tourism inclusive. Our judges were looking for businesses that are avidly working to ensure that inclusion has a stronger place in tourism's future. And our 5 finalists are Escuela Amazon Lodge. Since 2007, this lodge has been working to make its lodges accessible for all and to enable guests with disabilities to enjoy the cultural and nature-based experiences. There are now 7 fully accessible bungalows, pathways and facilities. Staff are trained to accommodate people with different disabilities and enable them to participate with other guests using specially designed and adapted wheelchairs. Our second finalist is Madhya Pradesh. The Responsible Tourism mission here aims to create opportunities for everyone to participate in and benefit from the tourism sector, thereby promoting social equity and empowerment. Through awareness programs, training sessions, and employment opportunities, the Tourist Board wants to ensure that all travellers, regardless of their physical abilities, can enjoy the state. Tripseed is a DMS in Thailand with a strapline, "It's time to grow travel back better," which I like. I like that strapline. It aims to facilitate authentic local connections, offering day visits to local communities, as well as removing barriers to those who travel with disabilities. It's got a range of specially designed and exclusive tours, and for both the elderly and disabled travellers. TUI, tour operator TUI UK and Ireland, serves more than 6 million holidaymakers a year. And its dedicated accessible holiday strategy team has partnered with Accessable to survey hotels and develop detailed access guides, which are now available. And this includes the opportunity to book access rooms, which if anyone has tried to do this is very difficult. So it's a really good initiative. It's also partnered with Sign Live to provide interpreting services for British Sign Language users via video relay. And the TUI specialist team achieved 9.5 out of 10 satisfaction scores, so you can see the customers really appreciate it. And our final finalist is Warrior on Wheels. This provides sport and adventure experiences for children with disabilities, uplifting them and empowering them, and changing perceptions of ability and bridging gaps between able-bodied and differently abled communities. Outings for the children and their families have included zip-lining, river rafting, cycling, surfing, wildlife safaris, boat cruises, helicopters and plane rides. Really inspiring initiative. And the winner of the Making Tourism Inclusive Global Responsible Tourism Award is TUI UK and Ireland. Really impressive. Well done. Our third award this afternoon asked the clear question, what are you doing about climate change? The judges were looking for businesses and destinations actively contributing to the decarbonisation of tourism operations and exploring innovative ways to protect against threats to ensure business continuity. And we have 4 finalists in this category. First up, EcoDrop Zimbabwe, a refillable water bottle system on a mission to eliminate single-use plastic bottles from the tourism sector across southern Africa. EcoDrop removed the use of more than 72,000 plastic bottles in Victoria Falls between April 23 and January 2024. Tour operator Explore is our next contender. It worked with the independent carbon consultancy eCollective to measure the carbon footprint of all its trips, which include more than 1,800 accommodation providers, transport activities and excursions, meals and guides, using the average group size from pre-COVID. It has an ambitious target of a 50% reduction by 2030 and net zero before 2050. Jetwing Hotels in Sri Lanka currently secures 60% of its energy from renewable sources, from biomass, solar thermal and biogas. This has been a steady, long journey. It got its first renewable energy system in 2010. By 2023, the Jetwing Hotels generated more than 1,000 megawatts of solar energy across its properties, equivalent to providing the power for more than 13,000 households and mitigating the release of 608 metric tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And our final finalist is Wise Sustainability. Like Explore, Wise Sustainability operates on the principle you can only manage what you can measure. It uses technology to manage resource use, identify where it's been used in a profligate manner, and helps management to reduce it. The company's developed subscription-based services, including a live reporting widget, like the example here, that provides real-time, transparent, and independently verified sustainability progress. And the winner of the Climate Change Global Responsible Tourism Award is Jetwing Hotels. Thank you very much. So the time is here. Our next award is for Nature Positive Responsible Tourism. The judges were looking for businesses that act as guardians of biodiversity and take a regenerative approach to their operations. And our first contender, Chris Manu, deep in the Manu Biosphere Reserve. Chris Manu works to promote sustainable alternatives that respect human rights, intergenerational rights, biodiversity rights, and the rights of its species to ensure long-term sustainable economic development. Educational tours and volunteering opportunities for guests have been matched by a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, the conservation of more than 600 hectares of forest, and the delivery of educational programs to benefit both local people, guests, and to conserve biodiversity. Denis Private Island in the Seychelles. The conservation initiatives here are funded by the earnings from the small eco-lodge. Palm trees and copra plantations are being removed, natural vegetation has been restored, non-native predators have been removed, and 3 critically endangered bird species have been reintroduced. And the sea around this small island has been recognized as a marine protected area. Nisargayatri Santha was established in 2018 to build on the work begun in 2005 on the geoglyphs of Konkan. In the last 3 years, more than 150,000 people have visited these sites, significantly benefiting the local villages. And at the same time, their work on nature has included identifying 450 bird species, more than 50 new endemic species of flora, and more than 12,000 sea turtle eggs have been protected and hatched. The Saku Rainforest Lodge in Malaysia is part of Borneo Eco Tours and provides nature-positive environmental education to visitors in the community. It was constructed using recycled wood and eco-design principles and has a greener and better alternative for sewage treatment. And the winner of the Nature Positive Global Responsible Tourism Award is, I love saying this, is Cris Manu, Peru. Founder Quinn Mayer and General Manager Juan Carlos Cardenas. Please come forward.
How can you save a rainforest? This is Manu National Park in the Peruvian Amazon, the most biodiverse place on Earth and a safe haven for rare and endangered wildlife. Whilst the park is protected, the rainforest around it is not. Almost 20 years ago, the good folk at Cris began working in this spectacular wilderness when it looked very different. Logged, farmed, and cleared for livestock, almost no wildlife remained. But Cris had a bold idea. They created an amazing team of locals, volunteers, and scientists who planted trees, studied the land, built biogardens, and advanced agroforestry. Then they designed a unique ecotourism experience to help finance their work and waited to see if nature would bounce back. What happened next was extraordinary. 90% of biodiversity returned. Brand new species are still being discovered, and over 15,000 people have paid to visit, helping create jobs and supporting a sustainable local economy. And help us save this rainforest.
Now to our penultimate award, Increasing Local Sourcing for the Global Responsible Tourism Awards. The judges here are looking for businesses that have local purchasing practices in place and are actively working to create and promote local businesses and sole traders through their own supply chain and encouraging visitors to buy locally produced crafts and souvenirs. I think this is the hardest fought category of the competition. There are 7 really impressive finalists here. Borneo Adventures is a specialist tour operator which has worked with the local communities in Sarawak in a way which has increased local sourcing and created shared value. There are 40 families in the region now involved in tourism in a way which visitors are welcomed as guests on their terms. They contribute to a community longhouse fund through a tourism tax and a headman levy for each tourist. And the money from tourism has broken the subsistence agricultural cycle and stimulated a cash economy in the area. Okavango Gin, which is very close to my heart, was founded out of a love and passion for the pristine wilderness of the Okavango Delta by a handful of like-minded naturalists, safari guides, botany enthusiasts, and hospitality experts, a great combination. So they use local seeds, and traditional beer is sourced by local women. It's distilled off-grid with gin bottles sewn locally and uses recycled gin bottles. The Crannog Centre, as we've all heard, is an open-air museum dedicated to the Iron Age, and it's also growing its own food with a cafe, developing coppice sites to harvest natural materials to maintain the building, and local apprentices work on site, ensuring skills are available to maintain the museum. Pura Aventura. In 2023, Pura Aventura worked with 500 different suppliers, including 62 in Costa Rica, 57 in Chile, and 49 in Argentina. And 85% of their top 100 partners are micro enterprises. By using mostly small and micro local businesses and individuals, it ensures that more income remains with the local community. Since 1985, Sagunabaug has been developing agri-tourism across Maharashtra in India, helping farmers to earn an additional income and increase their dignity. There are now more than 2,000 agri-tourism centres across the state, showcasing agriculture, aquaculture, dairy farming, apiculture, pearl farming, vermicompost, biogas plants, plant nurseries, and freshwater pearl culture to visitors from the cities. Six Senses Krabi Island is on track to achieve 70% local sourcing this year. It's got just 40 villas and is committed to responsible tourism, including green living roofs to reduce temperatures, energy-efficient technology, and water-saving practices. And our last contender, Civitel Hotel Bangkok partners with more than 50 local farmers through the Civitel Farmers Friends Network. It also supports local producers and fosters a sustainable ecosystem through the Civitel Sustainable Market, which connects staff, guests, and local vendors. A From Kitchen to Chicken program, I like that name, is a closed-loop system diverting food scraps to feed black soldier fly larvae, which are then used as protein for organic chickens at a local organic chicken farm. Those are our really interesting contenders. And the winner for increasing local sourcing is Civitel Bangkok Hotel. With CEO, Mrs. Alisiran Sivathon.
Civitel Bangkok Hotel. Our hotel actively engages in community co-creation. We involve guests in local farming initiatives, promote sustainable practices, and act as a bridge connecting our guests and our staff with local farmers, fostering an inclusive and mutually beneficial approach to well-being and sustainable living. Beyond providing a comfortable bed, eco-friendly rooms, and heartfelt service from our staff, we are committed to crafting delicious and safe meals using organic ingredients sourced directly from over 40 local farmers. We actively engage in a sustainable food system co-creation with these communities, contributing $140,000 annually to support their endeavors. Our commitment extends beyond sourcing organic ingredients from our valued Civitel farmer friends. Our chefs maximize the use of these organic elements with a zero food waste cooking policy. Any food lost or discarded in the hotel is repurposed into fertilizer, nourishing black soldier fly worms. This fertilizer cultivates herbs and edible plants in our own garden, fostering urban food security awareness. The black soldier fly worms play a crucial role at Tan Koon Organic Chicken Farm, becoming part of the chicken feed. This holistic approach not only exemplifies a model for zero food waste in the city on a minimal budget, but also aligns with our mission to become a zero waste to landfill hotel by the end of 2024. Today, Civitel Bangkok Hotel extends our sustainable practices as a model for other hotels. We firmly believe that sustainability is not a competition, but a collaborative effort, and we actively seek partnerships to contribute to creating a more sustainable world.
And now to our final award of the day, Championing Cultural Diversity. And here the judges were looking for examples of destinations and businesses that are actively working to support the preservation and celebration of culture and to create meaningful connections for visitors. Our 5 finalists are Finding Shiva in India was established by young entrepreneurs at the border of India, China, and Nepal in the Upper Himalayas. There are 35 homestays in a community with strong cultural traditions. Visitors are served local cuisine, and festivals are celebrated, as they describe it, with great fanfare, creating opportunities for visitors to experience local culture. The homestays are primarily run by women, with the entire community involved in providing the services. Rajasthan Studio curates art experiences with master artisans, contributing to the preservation of the state's local traditional crafts and culture. Their objective is to enable travellers to experience, understand, and value the local culture of the place they are visiting, and to meet local people, to learn about their traditions and stories. Tourists can understand the history and traditional practices of a specific art form, which is now making a significant contribution to promoting, preserving, and propagating art heritage. In 2022, there was only one man left who could play calypso in Tortuguera. Calypsonian Caribbean music was not being taught or played often, and it was in danger of being lost entirely. But this year, 42 children are learning to play their traditional music thanks to Tortuga Lodge's Calypso School, which uses funds from its community funds to pay teachers' salaries, funds music equipment, uniforms, and transportation for teaching and presentations. Trip to Help in Kenya is a boutique travel agency. Its strapline states its mission is to enable people to travel consciously, sustainably, and fairly, offering unique experiences. It works side by side with locals, community projects, cooperatives, and NGOs, and says that these people are at the centre of this journey. They are not just guides. And our finalist of the afternoon is Tropical Trekking Thailand, which blends traditional trekking experiences with cultural heritage. Each trekking route is named after and tells a unique cultural story. So they offer the village hidden in the fog, a salt trail, highland mountain cuisine, and much more. And each one is taken by local guides who can tell their own traditional stories. So those are our finalists. And the winner for championing cultural diversity is Rajasthan Studio India. Please welcome founder, Mr. Kartik Gaga.
I was just Googling experience of craft, art experiences to have in Jaipur, and I found this one to be very organized. The overall experience is very good. She gives a very good explanation of the history and process of making the products here.
So we've just finished up our traditional puppet making course, and we're so happy to have been able to do this. It's one thing to buy something to take home with you, but to actually be here with the masters who know that craft and make something for yourself was such a over-the-top experience that we recommend to anybody that's here.
You must do this, and you must come and see the intricacy of what this man does and what his family does. It's a brilliant technique. The way that you can make the wire move, beautiful. Please come and do this. This craft is something that you can see where they take so much detail and make it into something beautiful, and I wanted you to learn how to do that.
It is such an amazing experience. मुझे लगता है कि हमारे इंडिया में इतनी पोटेंशियल है where especially राजस्थान tops it all.
All of the finalists, all of the entries in the Global Responsible Tourism Awards and the regional awards are winners. And we have several finalists and winners in the room with us today. So I'd like to say thank you to you all for sharing your knowledge and ideas as well. And once we've taken this shot, I'd like to invite all of those finalists to come up, and our rest of the world highly commended guests. Please come on up for a group photograph for all the finalists and winners here today.